I was often the only woman in the kitchen. I feel like if I showed any emotion at all, I would have been perceived to being weak. I wasn't able to express being a woman. I wanted to fit in. I wanted to be part of the team. Opening a restaurant, I think, has got to be one of the most horrible things to do. Honestly, it takes years off your life. It's just awful. I think being able to be who you are is the most important thing. Diversity, people, characters, that's what makes life great.
Welcome to the Good Food Podcast with me, Samuel Goldsmith. I'm very excited today to be on location at the fabulous Cornucopia with its owner, the first and only British female chef with 3 Michelin stars, the fabulous Clare Smyth.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for coming.
No, this room is amazing.
Yeah, our little private dining room.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah.
I'm very jealous because you are wearing the most spectacular suit.
Thank you.
I've been looking for a green suit, and this is like, I should model it on that.
Thank you. I can lend it to you if you want.
Yeah, I'd love that, actually. Thank you. I'd love to know what you had for dinner last night.
Do you know, this is going to sound so bad.
No, that's what we want.
The truth is, I think, like, I had a piece of bread with some butter on it, a few, this sounds terrible, of the salt and vinegar crisps that I have on work on top of the potato. And then I just taste things all night.
Sure.
I take like a canapes, I have like pieces, because we have to taste every single thing before it goes on the plate. So in service, I'm kind of eating everything. So very unhealthy.
I mean, obviously the food you're tasting all night is incredible because it's like a very high level of cooking. But do you ever get fed up with it?
I don't, because I am so trained to do it.
Sure.
It is just so in the natural, my reactions to everything, it's just natural to do it.
And it's like, I guess you're almost doing it you are doing it as a job, so it's not like, I'm tasting this, that's nice, I'll have another bit. It's like, I'm just checking that it tastes exactly how it's supposed to taste.
Yeah. And if you some chefs like to eat the rest of it, you can normally tell the ones that do and the ones that don't.
Just look at their waistline.
Yeah, they'll like, no, you're supposed to taste the sticky toffee pudding, not eat the entire plate.
But that must be hard, right?
It is sometimes, actually. In the bistro here, it's so hard because I go in and it's like, I've been tasting the dauphinoise and the boulanger, and it's like you just almost eat the whole thing.
Going.
Yeah.
And your puddings here as well. I mean, the whole place is incredible. I had the fish and chips, which were amazing. We'll talk about the food later, but the only criticism I have about your puddings, your trifle doesn't have custard.
It does kind of have, it does have a little layer of custard, but yeah.
Okay. Because I was like, my childhood.
You want more custard. You need to come back for the floating islands.
Okay.
That is like a big bowl of custards with a big fluffy meringue marshmallowy thing on there.
I also think doing trifle's quite brave because it's very much like a thing of your childhood, isn't it?
Yeah.
So was that, do your dishes reflect what you had as a child?
Very much so. And actually, when we were making those dishes, like the trifle, for example, they were trying to get the sherry to go in it. And it was like using a really posh sherry at Core. And I was like, that just doesn't, it's not okay. We need cheap sherry.
Yeah.
Because that's what, and and then we went like, go to the supermarket and buy some. They're absolutely spot on.
I guess you want the sweetness more than like the sort of,
I guess the nostalgia. There has to be a balance. You can't miss the mark with things.
Sure. Because this is your second place in London.
Yes.
So you've got Core, which is your 3 Michelin star.
Yeah.
And then Cornucopia, which is just got its first Michelin
star. It's got a star, yeah.
Yeah, that's incredible.
Yeah, which was not something we were expecting.
Yeah.
We were opening a bistro. We're just trying to make it a super popular local bistro. But yeah, great. And then actually I'll be the seafood restaurant, which will be fine dining as well, which will be opening end of summer, so late summer.
Yeah. And because you've had such a remarkable career, like if you sort of think about food in general, obviously now you've probably got memories that are like incredible memories, but when you take it right back, like what's your earliest food memory? Earliest
food memory is very much about growing up on a farm and eating everything freshly cooked at home. Lots of potatoes, every single meal potatoes, hence the potato menu here.
I love that.
And braised cuts. We would have like everything butchered and put into the freezer. So you'd eat all the cuts of meat. Waking up with slow cooked stews that would be cooked overnight. And so for quite hearty ingredients, a lot of things homegrown, potatoes, vegetables, those kind of things. I didn't realise that, how lucky I was in a way to grow up in that environment because to me it was normal. And then when much later on in life, when I became a chef, I realised it was like, God, actually, I had all of this. I didn't grow up with beans on toast or, ready meals. We actually had everything cooked from scratch.
Yeah, and now you are eating salt and vinegar crisps for dinner.
No, it's so bad.
Because you grew up in Northern Ireland, is
yes.
that right? Yeah, on a farm. I feel like that for a chef, that's such an incredible start, because a lot of chefs learn about food as they go, but you've presumably had quite an upbringing where it was so inherent. Important
to the family because, sustaining farm workers and stuff, and, everything being home cooked and everyone being a part of that, preparing meals was very important. However, it was very far from fine dining. It was very rustic, wholesome food, really hearty, wholesome food. And I've always been quite creative, so I went that way in terms of my food. So it's very, very different, but the importance of food and always remembering like how it makes you feel is the most important thing. So things that are satisfying. That's very evident, I think, with chefs. Like often if we work, like we do talk about favourite dishes, as you'll find out later, but often it does become about childhood. Yeah. Whereas actually for people that may be like food writers or like celebrities in inverted commas, it's more about, it might be that like they came to Core and had their 3 Michelin star dinner and that's what they remember. Mm-hmm. Whereas it's always interesting that for chefs it's always about their childhood, but actually what they're cooking now is not quite, well, I suppose it reflects it. Like you choose dishes that were part of your childhood, but they're not like them in many ways. It evolves from it. I think there's a creative journey you go on, and but there always has to be a reason for something. So I think that's really fundamental to everything we create. So you must have a reason for cooking it. I like to have an origin. For me, it's Britishness. British culture, great producers, all those little nods to where we are. Like we do like a little jelly deal tartlet when we start. And, so people visiting London, they come and you give them this little jelly deal tart thing, and then it's like the experience of the service of it. We spray it with malt vinegar and then tell them the story. So it's really nice about, I feel like an introduction, a sense of place. Is really great for people visiting. And then, of course, then it's got the nostalgia for anyone that actually does know jelly deals. Obviously, we do them a bit better. But it's all these little touches to things that people can connect with their food. I think that's really, really important, is connection. And also talking of vinegar, as you did that, like you've got the vinegar menu here as well. Yes. That was so much fun. Like just getting to, I think I tried the champagne vinegar. Is it the XO sherry? No. Yeah, we have this. Yeah, the sherry vinegar. Yeah. There's the iced vinegar as well. Yes, that was because what's that distilled? I don't know if it would be distilled, is it? But it's basically pressed at -8 degrees, so it's super sweet. Yeah. Is that like done, an ice wine? Sure. Yeah. So is it done? I imagine it's done in Scandinavia, but that's just because it's cold there. It's actually Canadian, that one. Yeah. Okay. It's cold there too, I suppose. Yeah. And Scott, our vinegar sommelier, comes round. Yes. He gets very excited about vinegars. But yeah, I love vinegar. Yeah. So, and there's so many. Again, it's just fun, right? Because when I was trying to teach people. My team, a lot of them aren't British, and when we were doing the fish and chips, I said, "Look, guys, where's the vinegar? Where's the malt vinegar?" And they were like, oh, I don't know, chef, I don't know. I said, "Where's the malt?" So then they bring out like a malt vinegar that's some like fancy brand, and I said, "No, it's got to be Sarsen's malt vinegar, like from a chip shop, guys. Come on!" And they couldn't get it. And then I was like, so when I'm lecturing them about the vinegar that has to be served with fish and chips, then I was thinking, why does it have to be that vinegar? Yeah. Actually, of all the really beautiful vinegars in the world, yes, we have to serve that one 100%, but let's do some fun things with it. Let's give some champagne vinegar. Let's give red wine vinegar. And then we just went to town on it. But that was the fun as a diner, was getting to kind of like play almost. Like, well, I'll try those. Those are the 3 that interest me the most. So you like put a bit on one chip and then try. And it's kind of nice to be able to experiment, but also enjoy your dinner at the same time. It's not like you're kind of playing with it, obviously, not in a way that you might as a toddler, but... It was, I really enjoyed that element of it. And also, I mean, the fish and chips are not basic fish and chips. You have, is it Dover sole, I think, when I had it with the lobster mousse inside? Yeah. It was like absolutely incredible. Oh, good. Well, thank you. And is that the most popular dish? Yeah, that and the Kiev cordon bleu. I think that, again, we just put the 2 things together. And it's funny because it's, I was thinking, well, if I'm going to do fish and chips, what's the best fish and chips I can do? Because people aren't going to be expecting just fish and chips from me.
Sure.
And then it was like, so we'll do a chicken Kiev, but we'll put a cordon bleu chicken Kiev and we'll serve it with black truffle sauce.
Yeah.
Ultimately, though, but those things you can do like everything else, but the guests always come back to those same things.
It's that, I guess it's the nostalgia.
It is.
Isn't it?
And it's what people really want.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it, I'm just thinking like people that work here have worked with you elsewhere, I'm guessing.
Yes. Yeah.
So is it weird for them, do you think, when they come here and you're going, just, you need the Sarson's vinegar, you need like the cheap sherry, because probably in Core you've been like, we need the finest sherry, we need the finest vinegar.
Yeah, we had to work that out of them.
Yeah.
And then get them to engage with a sense of fun, of understanding about those things. Yeah. Because they're trained so far one direction, and now we're bringing them back the other direction.
Yeah.
And actually, like a lot of the things that we would do in a fine dining restaurant, you know, feel really awkward in a bistro. And so we kind of want more, we want it like personality, it to flow really easy, and to be, you know, I'm not saying Core's relaxed, of course it's relaxed, but there's a lot more going on, and we just need to hit the notes that people really kind of understand.
And because obviously you're the first and only British female chef to have 3 Michelin stars, is that something that you kind of can just sort of sit with now, or does it still feel like a sense of like responsibility? I
think it used to more than it does now. You know, it's a crazy thing that I don't know how many there are. There's maybe 8 or 9 women in the world with 3 stars. There's just hardly anyone still. It used to feel more like a weight. Now it's kind of like, I just think a lot more now about mentoring other people. Yeah. When we opened this bistro, it's because the staff are evolving. They've been with me a long time. They're super loyal. They're really great people. And it's like, I want to provide them with opportunity for staying with me.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so the head chef and the restaurant manager here, there were young people that joined me probably about 7 years ago at Core. And then like, here's your opportunity. You guys grow with it. And now I kind of mentor and support them. You know, I'm not here. I'm here, drop in every day, but I'm not physically here. And then obviously the next project. So I really enjoy letting them crack on, because I've been very, very fortunate. You know, I've done a lot and I get to do a lot. And sometimes I think I get to do everything. And like, I actually want to give it to them.
Sure.
I always think like that. I think, you know, why everything comes to really successful people that are successful already, and actually there's all these other really young people that would just love a shot at something. So I always think like, how can I hand it to them?
Yeah, I think that's nice, because I feel like, because Gordon was quite like that, right?
Yeah.
He would then set up a restaurant with one of his sort of like protege, and then I think it would still be kind of owned by him, but they'd have an investment. And I feel like it's a shame that doesn't happen more in other industries. Like you look at like, I don't know, like eBay, Amazon. I don't see them starting up like competitors and then giving their proteges a chunk of it. It's all about kind of keeping it to themselves. Yeah, I just think I'd love to do more of it in the future, and really even sort of sit behind it and just let them kind of go and give them the opportunities. Yeah, because I guess you're also like, you love good food and like intelligent food and creative food, that if they do that, you get to try it. For sure. I get to enjoy the other side of it, right? Exactly. I wanted, like, just thinking there about you say about how many women have the stars, like, it's interesting, be interesting to do it as a percentage, because obviously there are fewer, presumably, female chefs than male chefs. Yeah, a lot less, yeah. Do you think a lot has changed over the years? Yeah. A lot. What would you say still needs to change? You still need to keep working on it. I think that in life, we think it's changed phenomenally, which is brilliant, but there's always work to be done. And I think that it's very important to always like talk about it and try and move things on. And I think that a lot of people seem to always call thing, I hate it in life, black and white. Nothing's black and white. Everything's grey. Yeah. Everything's grey, and you just muddle your way through, right? Yeah. There's no big solution. There's no big thing to penny drop. It's just constant evolution and constantly little steps all the time. And if you keep doing little steps, you go somewhere. But it's very, very different now. And, you know, there's a much different environment in kitchens, thankfully. It's just completely different. Like thinking back to like the bad old days, what like would be the worst sort of stuff that would happen? It's just, you know, like we think about the bad old days. It's a terrible sort of thing, but I feel like,
life was so different then.
Yes, of course.
Society was different. And I feel like, I feel like we always keep going back to it, but people were smoking in restaurants.
Yeah, of course.
I was at school getting rapped over the knuckles with rulers. You take that today and you say that today.
Yes, true.
And hospitality was very like it, but so were lots of other industries. But we keep always dragging it back. And it's like, I want to let that go, and I want to just keep evolving it and leave all those things behind, lessons learnt.
Yes.
And keep evolving and being, and certainly totally more inclusive in terms of everybody and the diversities that we have, because that's something when I opened Core was very much about, I wanted to see who people were. I wanted to see their characters. I wanted to see the team's personalities, because when I'm walking in the door every day, it's my home. I do it for my life. I spend most of my time there. So I don't want to go into an environment where everyone shuts down, or it's so
toxic,
serious, or so where it's it's so focused that you only can do it for a little while. I'm doing this for the rest of my life. I want to laugh with a guy. I want to see who's done this. And that's the colour in life, is diversity, people, characters. That's what makes life great, right? It's not the black and white, the decisions, the bottom line, the something being so precise.
Yes.
It's
And actually,
that.
I guess the excitement, if you can make a place that in that way, it's more likely to be successful, because if people are enjoying themselves, I think that probably does. I mean, it's a bit cliche to say it now. It's like with that water, is that Water for Chocolate, that book, where she goes and she puts sadness into her food and then everybody dies or something mad. But I feel like it's kind of, you put happiness into food, then people can sense that, I think.
Yeah, I think that, what it's even saying about people enjoying being there, I think being able to be who you are is the most important thing. I don't think everyone's going to enjoy their work all the time. For sure they're not, especially at a top level. There is a lot of pressure at a top level. And that's another thing. We work incredibly hard, but to be at the top of anything, generally people work incredibly hard. So you're either the type of person that loves that, but being able to be yourself. Yeah. That's really important.
That's really interesting as well, when you say about kind of you didn't say it in the same way, but harking back to the bad old days.
Well, I used to not, so that's why I say that, because I was often the only woman in the kitchen. And if someone even tried to pick me out for being a woman, I would be like, I'm just one of the boys.
I'm just a chef.
Yeah. And I really kind of fought against that, because I wanted to fit in. I wanted to be part of the team. And actually, in terms of that, I wasn't able to express being a woman, or any emotions, or I was quite hard on myself, because I feel like if I showed any emotion at all, I would have been perceived to have been weak. And because I'm a woman. Yeah. But guys would be crying all the time, but I could not show tiredness, weakness. So I was very tough on myself, because I was worried about that. And then I think I was tougher on myself than anyone else was. And I just didn't want to, I just wanted to prove myself all the time and fit in. And, so things like clothes, fashion, doing your hair, just couldn't stand out, you know? And it's like, now I love to be able to do that. I love to be able to wear nice clothes, talk about things. And I've got loads of people, loads of women in my kitchen, and people from everywhere and all cultures. And I think that's just that's nice amazing. Now.
Yeah, it is interesting actually. You say, when I was growing up, obviously internally I knew that I was gay, but I didn't necessarily, talk about it till I was quite a lot older. But I was mindful of how I talked, and even growing up in council housing, you're mindful of how you should sound. So I remember someone saying, "Well, you can't talk like that because you won't be successful." When I had my Somerset accent, and it is odd. It's kind of strange that you kind of edit yourself, and you can't be yourself. And now you've got to a point where, I feel like we're in a society where you can be more yourself, but one is them. I feel like I'm myself, but also am I what I would have been if I could have been myself back then, if that makes sense. I don't have to just tied myself up in knots there.
But would you have made it to where you are if you hadn't have been conscious of those things?
Exactly. Whereas now I think people can just be themselves in it, and people would embrace that.
I don't know. I could have made it if I wasn't very, militant, disciplined, fit in with the guys, behaved like that. Because I rose through the kitchens to run some of the top kitchens And so, you know, like if I was like a young emotional woman that was wearing hair and makeup, how do you think that I would have stood up to a kitchen full of men that were often, well, most of them were older than me. I was very young as well because I started very, you know, I really was incredibly focused and driven when I was younger. But, you know, I think I did that to myself, a lot of it. I don't think other people expected me to do it. It was more me. I was so like conscious of it.
You could sense what you had to do in order to get to where you wanted to be, I guess.
Yeah, and actually, you know, something like Gordon actually was incredibly supportive of me as a young woman.
Yeah.
Which was, you know, like actually he was like really sort of thinking it was great that I was coming through, whereas I was just wanting to drive on and fit in. And he would say to me, just slow down, you know, you're okay.
I'm a chef.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Gosh,
and I think Gordon if my sense of him is that if he rates somebody, then he'll support them.
Very much so. And if he sees loyalty, work ethic, and same thing when I worked with Alan Ducasse as well, they were great with me and they loved having me in the kitchen because, again, it was a young woman who was breaking the boundaries in their kitchen and they loved to see it. They loved to see a young woman coming on the sauce section. So they were super supportive as well.
And you mentioned about being young. Because you moved over from Northern Ireland when you were 16?
Yes.
Was that to chef straight away?
Yeah. I was so driven.
And so when did you start chefing in Northern Ireland?
Literally I was in kitchens from about the age of 12.
Wow.
Yeah, washing up, doing bits and pieces in my school holidays and weekends, helping out. My mum worked in hotels and stuff as well. And so I started, and I was quite familiar with it. And then by the age of 14, you know, I just loved it.
So did you go into it thinking, I'm just doing this as sort of like a weekend job?
Yeah, for some cash, yeah.
It wasn't like, I've seen that chef and I love it.
But when I got to about 14, then I started to learn more about chefs and food, bought cookbooks, became completely obsessed by it. And then I learned about the Michelin guide. I bought Anton Mosselmann's cookbook, Cuisine à la carte. And I just studied and read about food.
Yeah.
And then that was it for me. I knew I was going to be a chef. And I knew that I would need to like move to England because there wasn't really that many great restaurants around me in Northern Ireland, and go to college here. So to
London. Did you go straight to London?
I went to Brighton, a college just outside of Brighton, and then I was kind of 17 by the time I made it to London.
You say that as if it's old.
Yeah.
17 to come to London's quite scary. I
remember going. I remember having interviews for jobs. And I was at the Capitol Hotel, and I remember going there for an interview, and they're saying, "But you're not 18 yet." I'll be 18 soon, and just like I'll be 18 soon, and just trying to get. I was just very, very driven. It was very hard though. I mean, it wasn't easy, but I was kind of, you know, like kids. I don't know. Sometimes you either have that or you don't. You're tunnel visioned, and you don't see all the dangers, and you don't see all the things in life. You're just focused on one thing, and ignorance almost is bliss.
I find it very annoying, actually.
Yeah.
When I used to teach, it wasn't annoying. It was great, but also sometimes it would be like, "Why are you so sure? I'm not sure, and I'm like 20 years older than you." You know, it's kind of terrifying.
Yeah,
but also great. I think that to find a passion at that age.
Yeah. I was lucky.
Yeah. And I was thinking, recently you've recorded a documentary. Is it Open to Close?
Yes.
Is it with Hexclad?
Yeah.
Because you're a brand ambassador for them.
Yes.
And so that's also sort of letting people into like your life a bit more.
Yeah. So it's very much about showing people right from the beginning, when the door opens in the restaurant, all the way through the produce arriving, the suppliers, the team, everything that happens in the kitchen, all the way through to the lights going off at night, and that whole span of a day and everything being cooked. And so
the Open to Close is available on their YouTube channel, I think.
Yeah. And they shoot it really well also, you know.
It's with Gordon Ramsay.
Yeah, Restaurant Gordon Ramsay, yep.
Nancy Silverton. Yeah. It's quite epic names.
Really cool group, and Dominic Crenn as well.
Yes.
Just really cool group of people.
Wow. Was it, because like you're saying, it's literally from the moment the door opens to like the final moment, was it kind of a bit scary to think I've got to reveal everything on camera?
Yeah. Making sure the team behave themselves. Yeah. Nah, I'm joking. We actually have an open kitchen anyway, so it's all glass down the side of the restaurant. I wanted that on purpose.
Is that like Because glass can be like, you can hear through it, no? Is it?
Yeah. Yeah,
Wow.
I wanted it on purpose because I wanted people to see what was happening in the kitchen,
Okay.
and I wanted the team to be able to engage and understand and see the guests.
Yeah.
Because there's a responsibility there.
And you can see if they're enjoying it or not.
Yeah. And then they're like making sure they behave themselves. But I feel like that connection is really nice.
Yeah.
And I love being able to, for everybody in the team to be engaged with and take responsibility for the guests that are coming in.
Because also I do get a sense that you do like probably a bit of control, as in like it might be, it would be a bit nerve-wracking for you to be like, okay, this camera crew is going to follow me around and like they might not let me edit out everything I want to edit out.
Yeah. I'm quite well versed in that, I think. Yeah, working with Gordon for so many years, I think I've been around that environment quite a lot, and learnt through others' mistakes. But
yeah, of course, yeah, it's almost like media training from birth.
Yeah, but yeah, it was good fun doing it.
Was there anything you did hesitate to kind of like not want them to see, or is it?
Not really. You know what? It's kind of warts and all. It's kind of like, you know, like it's hard work. There's lots happening every day, loads of cooks. But ultimately, we have absolutely incredible produce coming through the door that's just beautiful. You know, nature is more beautiful than anything we ever create. And it's being able to see that, I think, is really, really nice.
And I think as well, like with chefing now or restaurants, I think like with things like The Bear and Boiling Point, although Boiling Point was actually terrifying, but I feel like it's almost, people were quite excited by the behind the scenes of restaurants. It's almost become sort of sexy.
Yeah.
In the same way that like when they did Mad Men, like advertising sort of became sexy because it made it feel exciting, even though maybe a bit dangerous. But I do think it's interesting. People are kind of a bit obsessed now with what's going on behind the scenes.
Yeah, I think definitely people have been for, like you say, since Boiling Point. I mean, the programme was a huge success for a reason.
Yes.
People wanted to watch it,
and
they're still watching these things that are happening behind kitchens, and there's a big audience for it.
It's what I found really interesting about that was when I spoke to people about it, people either got like super sucked in and loved it, or like my partner could not watch it.
Yeah.
He was like, "You're gonna have to watch this on your own. It's too much."
Is that The Bear?
That was Boiling Point,
okay,
actually. And The Bear. It's because it's so like, you know, like oh my god, what's happening next? It kind of is too much. Whereas I kind of love that.
Yeah.
And I will just like eat it up. But I think it's not for everyone.
I've not watched The Bear, actually. I just don't need to be watching more of that.
So why do I need to watch what happens at work?
Yeah.
So we've recently opened Cornucopia, which is where we are today. And it's more relaxed than, you said, like Core. Was there anything you struggled? I mean, you talked about kind of like having to educate the team to like, we have to use Sarsens, we have to use cheap sherry. Was there anything else that was kind of like difficult to get people to not do or to do? Yeah,
I mean, look, it's always hard to get communication across, and it's not just the team, the guests as well. Come in and say, it's not Core. No, it isn't. It's a bistro. You know, really hard to like get people to be like, I found that quite difficult because and my husband always said to me, but Claire, people don't think like you. I'm saying, but it's a bistro. You know, Naim is a bistro. It's not a restaurant. And he said, but Claire, people don't think like that. They just think, I'm going to a Clare Smyth's new place.
And near Sloane Square.
And they're like, well, you know, those things just take time.
Yeah,
so the name of the restaurant, the brand, the style of the bistro will evolve to people know what it is.
Yeah.
And then opening a restaurant, I think, has got to be one of the most horrible things to do. Opening a restaurant, honestly, it takes years off your life. Wow. It's just awful. When you go through it, and we're now 4 months old, and I'm thinking, I'm still getting triggered, but you know, from the building to trying to get power to everything being delayed and the staff, all the things happening, you know, chaos. It's just awful. Trying to get everyone trained to deal with the customers, you know, and that just takes a while to settle because it's also so personal. You know, everything you do, we take it really hard.
And it's got your name on.
And
that must be really difficult.
So, and then of course, then I just want to make sure the team are okay because it's very. Everything goes wrong when you open a restaurant. One
of the things I wanted to ask, we don't want to bang on about Gordon Ramsay very much, but I'm just thinking, like, you worked with him for over a decade, and we hear so much about working for him. But I just wondered, like, did you take anything from that experience that people might not expect? Like something we don't necessarily hear all the time?
I think the biggest things for me with Gordon was running a business. He really good at running a business. So I learned a lot on that side of things. So it wasn't even about, and it was obviously about cooking and discipline and all those things, but also how to run a business and run a successful and independent business also. And that was really key for me, I think. And then, it was, to own it yourself. And that kind of mentorship, which I think is brilliant.
Yeah, absolutely. It's the things you don't always think about, I guess, because sometimes I think when you want to do something so much, you can kind of get sort of pulled into doing it in a way that might not be best.
Yeah. And he made me always think about things through the eyes of a business, a proper business, how to make it successful, profitable, all those things that, I guess, is the other side of things. And, what people are saying about restaurants, it's such a difficult environment, opening and closing all the time, all those sorts of things. So I think that side of it was really great for me to learn and then to know, and then to be, to own it and to be master of your own destiny. And I want more chefs to own their own places and to see them make themselves successful.
Well, also, isn't it cheaper if you own it and run it yourself? Because if you're the chef, if you hire a chef and you don't cook in it or do anything in it, presumably that's harder.
It is, but so chefs obviously, and there's two different skills, learning how to cook and being a great cook, and then learning about running a business, and then also seeing it through customers' eyes about what makes your business successful, why people want to come. I always say, I walk through the front door of my restaurants. I walk through the front door, it's how it looks, feels, smells, what's the lighting, this, all before I really think about the food or the menu. And so about creating the right ambiance, the right environment, all those kind of things. So I think, that's a whole other side of it.
Yeah.
Chefs learn to cook within an inch of their life. And they're the most technical, most amazing food. And if you can't communicate that or get it to the customer, or the customer doesn't feel comfortable, it's not going to be successful.
And before we move on to our next section, I just wondered, you're like at the top of your game, top of anyone's game, if you could like step into another chef's shoes, is there anyone that would, not, I think wouldn't be like that you're jealous, because that's the wrong term, but like that you're excited by what they do, so you'd kind of like to just be them for a day?
There's a couple of chefs that I really admire globally. One of them, Anne-Sophie Pick.
Okay.
I think she's phenomenal. Like, she's incredible. She has, I don't even know how she does it. She has, restaurants all over the world. They're all phenomenal every time. And the way she trains her team and the way she's able to replicate this real excellence through everything she does, phenomenal. And there's a chef called Andreas Caminada in Switzerland. I just love everything Andreas does. And he has this restaurant in a castle in Switzerland, in this village, and it's stunning. It's like a fairy tale. We call him the fairy tale prince. And he's just in this absolutely stunning place. And then he has a little coffee roastery. He has a vegetarian restaurant. He has like the Casa Caminada. He has this whole brand in this village, and it's just stunning. And I really admire those people that have created things. And it's taken him 25 years to do that and create this thing, but it's wonderful.
Gosh, that does sound like a fairy tale.
Yeah.
It's like when I went to, is it Hotel Baris or Baris? I never know how to say it, in the Black Forest.
Yeah.
And they've got a 3 Michelin star restaurant there, I think. That was closed when I went, so I was good. But they also have a trout farm and like a little cabin in the woods. And it was just like, it did feel like a sort of fairy tale environment. That's great. Right, I'm going to move on then to favourite dish. What would your favourite dish of all time be?
It would have to be roast chicken.
Oh.
Roast is just something that's, so nostalgic, family roast. It used to be every Sunday.
Would it be a chicken that was on the farm as well?
No.
Okay. So I said that could be quite traumatic.
Yeah.
As a kid.
Well, we're killing them. But the just a really nice roast chicken.
Yeah.
And with roast potatoes, obviously.
Do you have a roast now? Every Sunday? I suppose you're working.
I wouldn't have it every Sunday, but it's just one of those things. It's actually really easy to do. And I feel like, once you have your roast kit as well, You know, you got to get all your cooking kit as
Okay,
well.
so talk us through your roast kit.
Really simple, because it's just like most of the things would go in, like, you know, of course I'm using Hexclad's big, massive roasting tray.
Yeah.
But actually, they do the smaller ones as well now. But the rack is really important. So the roasting rack resting, so you don't have to like truss the chicken up or anything. If you do want to brine your chicken, you brine it, or you don't.
Yeah.
Season it all up. Like rub oil, but season it all up, and you just put it in that rack. And
So
it's
that
that
is a rack
simple
that sits on top of
into the roasting tray. So
Yeah.
it just holds it perfectly.
Yeah.
And then you just pop it into the oven, you roast it, and you can black baste it or whatever. And then you can also stick your potatoes in the bottom of it. But also it's like non-stick as well, so you don't have any issue cleaning it. So it's just, you scrub it all out. It's like super easy to use. And though I love, if it's those things, one thing,
Yeah.
you know, of course you can have some other vegetable stuff, but you make your gravy in that, you can do everything.
So you would cook your roast potatoes in that?
Yeah, you
with the
can
rack
do.
over
Yeah,
it?
you can stick it in there. You can stick your potatoes in there as well, and roll them all in that chicken's fat. And then you can take the chicken out to rest it, and then just finish them in there.
Okay, because I'd be worried they go a bit soggy, but you take the chicken off to rest and then you crisp them up.
Yeah.
And what do you do with your roast potatoes?
Blanched salty water.
Yeah.
Nice and well seasoned, and then cook them till they start to break up on the outside.
Yeah.
Strain them, let them kind of steam up a little bit, like fluff them up. I'll just put them in the colander, give them a good shake about. Then they go into the fat, roll them all round in the fat.
In hot fat?
In hot fat.
Yeah.
So they're all coated, and then again, maybe a little bit of seasoning into the oven. Keep turning them round as you're roasting them and stuff. And then just before they're ready, I'll bring them out. I'll get a spoon and squish them all a little bit. So that it just breaks them a little bit more, and put them back in again so they go really crispy around the outside.
Because it's a real, like, I think a personal thing, a roast potato. I take on board everyone's, like, I remember Nigella said you have to cut it in a certain way, so I cut them in a certain way.
Okay.
Gordon, I think, was like, you've got to put flour on or something, so I put flour on and give them after the shake. During the shake? During the shake. And now I'm going to have to press them down with a spoon as well.
Yeah, just get that little break in them.
That extra crunch.
Yeah.
I thought I was clever because I started putting semolina flour on instead of normal flour, but actually...
Did that just go weird?
Well, it's fine if it's super fine.
Yeah.
But if it's... I think once I had polenta instead, and I did make a mistake, because, there was like just lumps, hard lumps. And that's really depressing.
Yeah.
If you cock up a roast dinner, that's probably the most depressing
That's
thing.
sad, yeah.
Okay, we're going to move on to culinary confessions because I'm overrunning, sorry. What is the one dish you make better than anyone else?
This is
everything, because you're a three
That's
Michelin
what I
star
was
chef.
going to say. Like, I mean, come on, I've got more than one.
Well, it's not custard in that trifle.
Yeah, okay, that's a pastry chef out there. But we do great custard with a crumble.
I'm sure you do.
However,
good custard. Actually, I'd love to have you and Paul Ainsworth do a custard off, because he is
he's
a
very
real
good with custard. Paul's very good.
That's why I love
Lots
him,
of
because he
things.
loves custard.
Yeah, I something like I do beef bourguignon, and again, it's got to go into that pot that goes into an oven.
Okay, so that's like Julia Childs did. Oh no, did she do it? No, she did actually.
And it's really important to be able to. I like the big wide base ones, so it's we like a chicken fryer, but there's one that's called as a weird name for it, but it's great. But you can caramelize all the beef really well.
Okay, so you roast the beef rather
Get
than fry it on.
really nice caramelization in that pan first.
How big is the beef? Because when I seen it on telly, they cut it. Okay, because I've seen people do it in like almost like fist size. I'm like, that's too big to eat.
Yeah, I think you want nice like sort of diced cubes. Of like chuck steak or something, and then like roast it all up. So you need that lovely, like that Maillard reaction caramelization, because that's where the flavors being built. So then you tip it off to any excess fat, and then you can put all your vegetables in there, and you put your beef back in, and you can put everything in, and you lid on, whack it in the oven. Absolutely brilliant.
Do you do the bit where you have the little shallots as well? Because some people have the
little tiny baby onions, pearl onions. You buy those frozen in bags.
So, because I was going to say, that's the thing I don't...
you have
when
to
you're
be
having
keen.
to peel them.
You have to be keen at home to do that.
Well, I pour boiling hot water over them to soften them and then peel them. But your hands are like, look like you've had fake tan, basically.
Yeah.
But so you'd buy the frozen ones?
Yep.
Oh, good to know. What is your biggest cooking disaster?
This is terrible.
That's what we're like.
Actually, it was the turkey at Christmas.
Oh.
And when it comes back to putting it in the rack thing that I was saying about. You put your chicken in when you can fit a turkey in them, the big ones.
Yeah.
So my turkey's brine, it's all in that. It's in that, and I'm cooking it in barbecue in the big green egg.
Oh, wow.
But we had just moved house, and they had moved the barbecue, and they had not quite put it back together properly. So there's turkey's in there, in its rack. I go to open the lid to check on the turkey, but the lid just kind of isn't connected and falls off the back, smashes it. But as it falls down, it rocks the turkey. All the fat goes in the coals, and it just goes off like a rocket. It's all on fire. And this turkey's just like gone black, it's on fire. And I'm like trying to grab holds of the rack to get the turkey off. And like I'm then running in the house with this like black turkey and then trying to like clean it. And honestly, it was like we had just moved house and we hadn't quite got it on the cameras on the doorbell. My husband's like screaming back, like laughing, just crying, trying to
see it.
Yeah, we didn't catch it. Fortunately and unfortunately.
Yeah. Yes.
But it was literally like, I don't know, like a rocket ship going off with this.
You're lucky you had your eyebrows left.
Yeah.
God. And so because it wouldn't have been cooked, it was just black and uncooked in the middle.
Yeah.
And the worst thing about Christmas is you can't pop out and buy something new.
Yeah. It did get wiped off.
I bet it was an expensive turkey.
It was a very nice turkey, but I did save it.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
There's a silver lining to every story. If your personality were a flavour of ice cream, what would it be and why?
This is a hard one, but I think something like salted caramel, because really nice, silky and sweet, but also I'm a bit salty.
When have you been salty? That's what I want to know.
Yeah.
And do you like salted caramel?
Yes.
Yeah. That wasn't like a deep sort of therapy question and like, do you like yourself? That was more just like sometimes like chefs, it's that strange, it's overdone sometimes, isn't it?
Yeah, but I do love a little bit of salt in there.
I pretend I don't because everyone thinks it's bad now, like it's too trendy.
Okay.
But I do like salted caramel. If you're, this is tricky because you have more than two restaurants, but if you were opening a themed restaurant based on your life, what would you call it and what would your signature dish be?
I think across the restaurants, I have kind of got, I was going to say roller coaster, but like, I think it would be named something like Cornucopia. So something that's a bit over the top and abundant with things, but it would have to have something to do with cars and potatoes.
Interesting.
I don't know how that would be done.
Like a wacky racers car where your car's like made out of potato.
Yeah, you'd have to have some kind of thing about...
Love it.
Yeah, cars, fine wine and potatoes.
I love that. And I wonder, because you love potatoes, but obviously Poppy O'Toole has kind of like come out as this potato lover.
Yes. Yeah,
is that like competition or is that...
You know what? I haven't met Poppy.
She's nice, yeah.
But yeah. Sweet and... but yeah, she's got... I'm going to have to get... to do something with Poppy
like
and
a
her
poppy
potatoes.
poppy takeover or
Bless
like a
her,
Poppy v Clare potato off. I say, if the restaurants did sort of reflect your life, this dining room is very opulent, but also the leather on the walls was giving, not that I've ever been to one, but like slightly like dominatrix sex dungeon vibes, because it's like this studded leather wall. What gave you the inspiration?
It was my goddaughter designed this. And the inspiration for all of the artworks are all original because the street was named after an oil painter.
Okay.
Who did actually quite weird oil paintings. But the whole area here is, surrounded by beautiful furniture stores, those really beautiful craftsmanship and sort of those sort of things. So that was very much this and homely feel, beautiful residential area. And that was very much it. In this room, it's a little room, sort of downstairs. Let's have a bit of fun.
Yeah, it's lovely.
Just like have a bit of fun with it. Get a TV in here and you can watch the Grand Prix.
I should say the TV is a TV, but it's also
a picture.
It's a picture, and it's not just a picture. It's like it looks like an actual original, like oil painting with a golden frame.
Yeah.
So I've got the same telly at home, smaller. It doesn't look like that.
What's on yours?
I don't know. I think it's a picture of Ekeberg Park in Norway.
Okay.
In Oslo. Yeah. But yeah, it's not as fancy as yours. My dining room's not either, because I don't have one. My next question for you, culinary confession, which is, what's the one misconception people have about you that you'd like to change?
I don't know. There's a funny one. There's only one thing I can think of would be, I wish when I went out to eat or when I went to my friend's house, they didn't think that I really care about what I'm eating, because I actually don't at all. Like, I really couldn't say I couldn't care less, but I am like really the easiest person to serve in a restaurant or at home.
Yeah, it's just nice to be cooked for, isn't it?
Definitely. And I am out to have a good time.
Yeah.
I'll have a good time anywhere. Like, I'm literally, if I've got a night off, happy days.
Yeah.
As long as there's wine.
Because if it tastes disgusting, you can get drunk.
Yeah.
I think it's really weird. Like, obviously, I'm not a Michelin star chef. But when I was teaching food tech, and I remember one of the teachers invited me over for dinner because we were working on a project. And then when I got there, she was like, I've just realised you teach food. She's like, you can't eat this. And I'm like, what? It looks delicious. Like, I really don't. Same. It's like, I just don't care. I just want to be cooked for, and just like, if you're giving me beans on toast, that's great, because I haven't had to make it. And finally, for confessions, what is your food guilty pleasure?
Crisps. Really bad.
And salt and vinegar in particular?
Salt and vinegar, to be honest, any flavour. Salt and vinegar, yes, definitely. I like those Iberica ham ones now.
Okay, so like a posh crisp.
Yeah, but I'm not always. Like the flaming grilled steak, a Monster Munch I'd go for as well. I would literally go for anything. Yeah.
Yeah. And mine is like cheese puffs.
Yes.
Love a cheese puff.
Yeah.
The cheese doodles they do in that's because when I used to live in Oslo, but they had you cheese doodles, and is it doodles or oodles? And that was so good. And you can't share a bag.
No.
I don't think.
Have you had those? Those egg yolk ones, the salted egg yolk ones.
That's a bit of a step too far for me.
But the Asian ones, the ones that like they're really interesting.
Yeah, the different from different countries. Yeah, fair. I like paprika crisps.
Yeah. That
have taken a little while to get over here, but have been in Spain for hundreds of years probably. That is that's something for me as well. Like, I wish certain flavours would come over here quicker.
Yeah.
Because they do have really incredible flavours. Right, we're going to move on to quick fire questions, and I forgot to bring the timer, so Sam will kindly time this. Now, I think our top scorer is about 43 seconds. But anything under a minute is good.
Okay. So I can't think about it too much.
But obviously, if you want to be the first and only British winner of this quickfire question
what do I win?
Nothing.
Okay.
But the dignity that you keep your dignity. And maybe I'll send you something that probably won't be quite the same as having 3 Michelin stars, but you can treasure it. Ready? Best kitchen tip you've ever been given?
Buy great equipment.
If you could only eat one cuisine for the rest of your life, what would it be?
British.
What ingredient is the biggest waste of money?
No ingredient, but ultra-processed food.
Worst thing you've ever eaten?
Oh, that natto, that fermented Japanese soya bean stuff.
Your signature can't be bothered meal?
Bolognese.
Favourite midnight snack?
Gherkin.
What food should have its own national holiday?
Fish and chips.
What's your go-to hangover food?
Toasted cheese and ham sandwich.
What food did you hate as a kid but now love?
Poached fish and milk.
If you could invent a new crisp flavour, what would it be?
Like cacio e pepe.
Name a fictional character you'd love to have dinner with.
James Bond.
And starter, main or dessert?
Starter.
Boom. 43 seconds.
Boom.
That is a top. That's like our joint top. I can't tell you your joint with because I can't remember.
It's a bit like that Top Gear racing round.
Yes. Or the like omelette
just
challenge
don't get the
they
car.
did. No, you don't get the car. I could send you a car, like a little toy one or something. James Bond, who would you choose as the next James Bond?
I don't know. I'm really bad at actors.
Okay.
Especially now.
You must get them coming in all the time.
Yeah, and that's really bad because I just don't know who any
It's probably
of them
really
are.
good.
It's
because
terrible.
I'd be like girl crushing.
Do you know, like
crushing over them?
My assistant Fran is like into pop culture, like knows everything about everyone, and she's always booking people in, and I'm like, who's that? I just don't know.
Is there anyone you would love to have in?
Loads of people. Like we had Mick Jagger come in to Core not so long ago, and like just people like that, real legends.
Yeah.
So we've had loads of cool things happen.
Yeah.
Like when Margot Robbie was in, and John Cena. They'd both been in a few times, but they'd never met.
Oh wow!
And then they met there, and then she offered him like a cameo role in Barbie. So
and that all happened at Core.
And
That's
it's just
incredible.
so lovely, like, you know, some things like that just
I'd
happen.
love to interview Olivia Colman just because
Yeah,
she looks
she's
nice.
insane. Yeah.
Which probably means she's like pure evil. Because
I reckon
people,
she's
you know.
pretty cool. Yeah.
Right, final question for today, which is term not the brand, which is what does good food mean to you?
Good food is, I think, everything. It's such a pleasure in life to have good food and a privilege in life to have good food. So I think people also should be grateful, you know, to everything that we have and everything that we get to have. You know, just food is like, I don't know, it's everything, isn't it? And if you want to be philosophical to it, it's an entertainment, it's everything that sustains us, it's nostalgic, it's all those things. But I do think that ultimately we should also be incredibly grateful that we have food and the way we have food and are able to eat the way we eat, and never ever forget that. And sometimes we get it very, very serious about our food. And I think sometimes, you know, guys, it is just also your dinner.
Yes.
And be grateful and take the pleasure out of things, and also realise that the people that have made it, the people that have produced it and grown it is the huge amount of work and effort and knowledge gone into that.
Great. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you.
And thank you so much for having me today. It's been a
you.
real pleasure to talk to you.
Great to have you.
Thanks for listening to this Good Food podcast. If you'd like to listen to more of our podcasts, search Good Food wherever you listen to your podcasts. For more recipes and inspiration, go to goodfood.com or download our app.